Welcome to Madison City Channel's Know Your Candidates interviews, co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Dane County. I'm your interviewer, Sarah Punt, and I would like to introduce Goodwill Obieze, running for Dane County Supervisor in District 16. As we begin, please give an opening statement about the educational, vocational, and civic experience you have, which prepares you for this office, and why you are running for Dane County Board.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I want to also thank the League of Women Voters, as well as the City of Madison media team for bracing this code and coming out here today. Again, my name is Goodwill Obieze, and I am originally from Nigeria, and I came to the United States as an immigrant back in 2010. And one of the reasons I decided to run is because of our current representative, our current county board supervisor, Rick Rose does not. I believe that he doesn't think he represents Sun Prairie, which is ironic because the district covers some part of Sun Prairie and some part of the city of Madison. And then I also believe that affordable housing is really important to me as a renter myself in the city of Sun Prairie, and also childcare. Making sure that we bridge the gap between working families. And then also right now we're in the middle of the snow. The streets are not plowed as well. The parking lots are not accessible to people, to folks with disability, to elderly. And I want to make sure that we have a clean streets for our constituents. Thank you.
How should the county address the significant budget deficit expected for the 2027 budget?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing first I'm going to do, which I had an experience in Kenosha County where I worked with Kenosha Joint Services. So basically what I'm going to do is to work with the city of Madison and then try to find those common services that can be joined together. So that way we can save money. Like for example, in Kenosha County, they had joint services for the dispatch center, for the fleet maintenance folks that works on the squad cars. So you have a whole joint team that works both with the police and with the sheriff's department, as well as the records department. So those are some of the things that I can work with my fellow county supervisors and the city council to make sure that we have some services that do not duplicate the services between the city and the county, but I'm going to also promote transparency when it comes to budgeting, and then also working with county leaders, county department heads to account for every line item that is needed, so that way we can reduce waste. And then we'll also make sure that we keep intact core services like public safety, our health and human services needs, and then as well as our children's services as well. Thank you.
What specific ideas do you have to increase the supply and quality of affordable housing and to preserve existing affordable housing?
Yeah, absolutely. I did see yesterday the city of Madison opened one of their innovation in terms of building homes in communities that are hard to afford it. So one thing I'm going to do within the county is to make sure we have enough funding. Homelessness is an emergency, and especially in this weather. So the goal is to make sure that we have zero homelessness in Dane County, and then also to work with different partners to achieve that as well.
What more, if anything, do you think the county needs to do to address the needs of our neighbors experiencing homelessness?
Well, I feel like one is working on looking at the mental health crisis we have in the county. Myself, as an Uber driver in the city and in the county, I have interacted with a lot of the residents, and some of them who are homeless, and then who shared with me sometimes they can't find a job in the city or in the county, and then also sometimes their criminal background history kind of like prevents them from getting housing in the county, and making sure that we make sure that the landlords and the property owners do not discriminate against based on your background, and definitely based on the protected class, your race, or your ethnicity. And then also I want to make sure that we work with everyone around us, and then also working with my fellow supervisors and the community and different neighborhood associations to come up with what is truly happening with our crisis. And then as a renter, rent is high in Madison and then around the county. I do know that the state has limited local government from doing any rent freeze, but working with my representative and the state legislature to see how we can mitigate that.
When faced with making difficult and controversial decisions, how will you ensure you are getting input from residents with a broad range of perspectives?
Yeah, and I would say one of the things that my current supervisor, Dane County Supervisor, doesn't do is conducting town hall. And so I'll bring those conversations back to the district, meeting with them, going to different neighborhoods, and then meeting with them to discuss about what is going on in the county, and engaging them and having them have a voice in any topics that is being presented, including budgets, including any ordinances that we're looking at, or any concerns they might have, because I work for them. And I want to make sure that their voices are what is being represented in county board.
Please describe any other priorities for your term in office. If these include new or expanded programs, how would you propose to fund them?
Yeah, I would say, again, thank you. I would say my other priorities are those. I have three main priorities, which are tackling affordable childcare as a parent, as a dad that has a 5-year-old who currently goes to childcare, who currently goes to a daycare in Sun Prairie. One thing most people don't know is it costs more to send your kids to daycare than to go to UW-Madison as an in-state tuition. I was shocked when I did that math, and so bridging that gap. Also, when it comes to homelessness, when it comes to affordable housing as a renter, making sure that the county has affordable homes, and enabling people like me, working family, or those that couldn't afford it, to make sure that that is affordable. And then when it comes to our streets, I know many times I've heard neighbors complain about how parking lots are not being plowed well, the streets are not being plowed well, and that kind of like limits them from going through with their day-to-day lives. And so those are the three things I'm going to focus on if elected.
What would you like to say to the viewing audience as we complete this interview?
Well, I want to say thank you so much, and I hope that I am that person that would be the voice for you out there in the community, and then also to make sure that your views are represented. And I would say election is on April 7th, so please go and vote. And you can look me up at Goodwill for Wisconsin, so Goodwill, the number 4, and then WI at .com, and then also at gmail.com as well. So thank you so much.
I want to thank Goodwill for speaking with us, and for the viewing audience to know your candidates. I want to remind everyone that the primary election is Tuesday, February 17th, and the general election is April 7th. Every election is important. Please vote. On behalf of Madison City Channel and the League of Women Voters of Dane County, I thank you for joining us.